It's the top of the hour and time for Ripley's, the most unbelievable show on TV.
Tonight on Ripley's, it's the ultimate expression of devotion. A man so consumed by the love for his wife, he spends every day by her side in a homemade chamber that houses her dead body.
If I want to see her, I see her. If I want to sleep there, I sleep there.
Now, in a Ripley's world exclusive, travel into the secluded room where no cameras have gone before. Hundreds of Ripley's fans have flooded Hollywood Boulevard to witness an unbelievable act that literally sucks. Kelly Packard's there as one man attempts to extract his dinner from his stomach with a vacuum.
Oh, I can see it!
Need a change of wardrobe? How about this wardrobe made from change? Meet the man obsessed with turning coins into incredible cash fashion.
What I love most about pennies is Abraham Lincoln. What a great man, and I see him every day.
Plus, how Microsoft's teenage whiz kid turned his relatives into the world's first cyborg family. Can this man defy physics by driving his 3,000-pound hot rod over water? And forget breakfast in bed. Ripley's gets a taste of the only restaurant that serves supper in the sack. Only on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Hello and welcome to Ripley's. Let's go out to Kelly Packard, who has stopped traffic on world-famous Hollywood Boulevard.
Packard in front of Ripley's Museum. Police have barricaded the streets in both directions, and people are anxiously standing by to witness what we can only describe as unbelievable. This is Jess Kaigoy. He is about to demonstrate that he has total control of his body and its internal functions, specifically his digestive tract. Tonight, he is going to eat a variety of foods and then suck the contents out of his stomach with this specially manufactured suction device. Now, he has agreed to let us use a clear tubing so that we can see exactly what's happening inside his body. How much of this tube are you going to swallow?
As long as this tube.
All of this?
Yes.
Whoa. Now, how exactly is this going to be done? You're going to eat these things, right? Let's see what we have here. Seeds. Look at that. Wow. Lots of seeds, okay? And some blue juice, okay? So we can really see it. And these are some noodles.
Yes.
Noodles, right? You need to chew everything really small, right? Because if you don't, it'll gag you coming back up. Okay. Go ahead, Jess. Start eating.
Thank you.
I'll be over here. Not too close. Now, Jess, make sure you chew those up good. Are you good to go, Jess? All right. Now, I have to say,
what Jess is attempting should never be tried at home because it could literally kill him. I spoke to one on-scene paramedic just moments ago. This is what he had to say about the potential risks.
Well, they could be pretty significant. If it punctures, he could literally bleed to death in less than 30 seconds.
Okay, now I have to say, he has to hold his breath every time this goes in his throat. Because he can't breathe once it's in there. Here he goes. Oh my gosh, first time in. Rev it up. Oh, I can see it. Oh my goodness, it's coming. Look at, he's holding his breath. Oh boy, Jess. Oh my gosh, he's going in second time. Jess, you did it!
What's really unbelievable is that the audience didn't lose their lunch during that demonstration.
Ripley's unbelievable update.
Rolling Storm is obsessed with having the coolest TV around. In fact, nobody in the world has a setup like Roland, because believe it or not, this one-of-a-kind big screen TV is made from 36,000 pounds of ice.
It's the only big ice screen or TV screen in the world that you can see from both sides.
Roland, whose home is in snowy Stockholm, Sweden, first came to Ripley's attention after building the world's first ice hotel. Here, everything is made of ice, from the glasses at the frozen bar to the sculptures decorating the halls.
Ice is a fantastic material. You can do anything of it.
Roland's newest ice creation weighs 18 tons, a mammoth undertaking, utilizing a series of projectors sending the image onto the frozen crystal screen. And this gigantic 18-foot wide, 12-foot tall television, smack dab in the center of town, definitely gets its share of reactions.
I don't like it. No.
It's excellent for sports programs because you can definitely freeze the frame.
And as for Roland, while this king of the frozen screen says he couldn't be happier with his ice TV, he's already hard at work on next year's project, an even larger model.
Next year I tried to build a bigger one. It should be at least double, twice this size.
Believe it.
Now, collecting pennies can be very lucrative. If you happen to have a solid copper penny from 1943, you've struck gold because it's worth at least $10,000. Well, Ripley's found a man who not only collects, but covers all of his possessions in pennies. His van alone is covered with 90,526 of them. Just wait till you see his apartment. For most people, pennies are meaningless. But for this guy, they're art. Because believe it or not, at over 300,000, he's collected more of them than anyone else in the world. And you won't believe what he's turning them into.
I've become like Midas, except my wealth is in pennies.
Stephen Baker used to live a quiet life as a handyman in Tucson, Arizona. But a few years ago, he began having trouble with arthritis, and he heard about an unusual cure, copper. So Stephen began putting pennies on his sore joints.
I had arthritis in my shoulder, and I felt that the copper would cure it or alleviate it. Since then, I've never had any arthritis.
From that point on, Stephen's interest in pennies has just kept growing and growing, getting them everywhere from the bank to finding them on the street. Stephen soon began making jewelry from pennies, like these 87-cent bracelets. And he wasn't stopping there. Next came pocket change clothing. This 8.5-pound shirt took 3 months and 1,128 pennies, a bargain at $11.28. Stephen has even experimented with dimes, creating this 3-pound bikini worth $54 in only 2 weeks.
As far as I know, there are no other dime bikinis in the world. And I made it as a Christmas present.
Stephen still wasn't satisfied. Gathering his inspiration from Elvis Presley, he spent 8 months constructing a 32-pound jumpsuit.
I am the king of the pennies.
This one is made from 3,500 pennies, a steal at the equivalent of $35. But that just wasn't enough for this penny pincher. So Stephen began putting his extra pennies on a van.
On my van, there are about 90,000 pennies. It weighs 850 pounds more. And it is the most sensible vehicle in the world. Sensible.
Even now, with almost $1,000 worth of spare change covering his ride, Stephen plans on continuing his work with pennies.
My next project is to cover an 18-wheeler, and it would take approximately 3.5 to 4 million pennies to do this.
Believe it.
Next, the Ripley's World Tour lands in the middle of a ritual where pain is the name of the game. How many spears can these zealots bear during their excruciating 12-hour test of faith? Also, you've heard of microchip implants for pets. Now meet the family getting tagged with technology, and they owe it all to their teen genius, Microsoft's youngest engineer ever.
Technology is what my life is, and I'm anxious to get it.
Plus, the man ensuring that these fish will always bite. That's because he actually uses a toothbrush to clean their teeth. And get set to sample a midnight snack unlike any other when Ripley's dines at the restaurant, dishing up meals on a mattress.
Everybody should try this at least once.
That and more straight ahead, only on Ripley's. Ripley's travels to India in tonight's Ripley's World Tour. Whether it be through prayer, dance, or parade, religions around the world indulge in some unusual rituals. But perhaps no display of devotion is as shocking or as intense as this. Because in a painful act of faith, one Hindu disciple will attempt to carry a heavy steel sculpture supported only by sharpened metal rods that are gouged into his flesh. The annual Indian festival is in honor of the Lord Murugan, whose weapon of choice was the spear. But on this occasion, the spear is not a weapon, it's a painful tool of worship. Today, these two brothers will demonstrate their faith by pushing their pain threshold to the limit during an exhausting 12-hour test of spirituality. The morning of the ritual begins with a thorough cleansing in the river, followed by a second hour of deep prayer and meditation. Stakes are sharpened and shrines constructed as hours 3 and 4 pass. But a warning. What these men are about to attempt is extremely dangerous and should never be attempted by anyone. 5 hours into the ritual, the brothers are repeatedly pierced as holy ashes are rubbed into their bodies. It is during this painful procession to the temple that the ritual culminates in an agonizing display few will ever attempt. Despite the danger of passing out from pain or bleeding to death, the giant 50-pound framework is attached to one brother's body, supported only by the pointed poles, which tear right through his skin. Friends and family watch carefully as the framework is applied. One by one, more than 60 spears are threaded through his body until, finally, the framework is complete. Now, after 8 hours of worship, the exhausted brothers reach a trance-like state, their endorphins kicking in like painkillers. The ceremony finally reaches its climax as the men arrive at the temples. Having bravely honored their god, they can finally remove the spears. After an unbelievable 12-hour display of devotion, the brothers can no longer bear the pain and lapse into unconsciousness. But perhaps most unbelievable of all, after collapsing from their all-day ordeal, within just hours, the fatigued followers are revived and are already planning next year's festivities. Believe it.
This is the microchip that could one day be implanted under the skin of every single American. Sound like science fiction? Well, tonight, Ripley's will introduce you to the world's first microchipped family, affectionately referred to as the Chipsons.
The Jacobs family appears to be the average American clan. But thanks to their computer whiz kid, Derek, these Florida residents are about to be transformed into the family of the future. Because believe it or not, they're being implanted with state-of-the-art microchips, qualifying them as the world's first cyborg family.
The Vera chip is inside of you. There's no problems with anything. It's safe, secure. It's always with you.
Like most 13-year-olds, Derek's a kid always on the go, and he's crazy about computers. In fact, at just 12 years old, he became Microsoft's youngest certified systems engineer ever. But there's always been one concern weighing heavily on Derek's shoulders. His dad, who Derek's very close to, is a cancer survivor with a long history of medical illness.
I go to the emergency room with him, and they ask him all these questions about like what medications he's on, and it's so much that I can't remember it.
But Derek, who's always up on the latest technology, heard about a revolutionary new microchip. At a size not much bigger than an average grain of rice, it's capable of holding vital data for people with serious medical problems. Though Derek was convinced, his parents were slow to realize the untested chip's potential to help the family. But Derek was persistent, and finally his mom contacted Applied Digital Solutions, the company responsible for the breakthrough device known as the Vera chip. Literally thousands had volunteered to be the first recipients of the process. But due to the Jacobs family's serious medical history and Derek's relentless interest in learning more about the new technology, the Jacobs were ultimately chosen.
The Jacobs family, certainly the first family that we gave the green light to.
Once implanted, the chips can be read by anyone possessing a Vera chip scanner. One pass instantly starts a process, revealing vital information stored in a main computer database, such as who the Jacobs are, where they live, emergency contact information, and a complete medical history. A simple injection of a non-toxic computer chip under the skin is all it takes.
It's a little bit of a anesthesia, a little bit of antiseptic, the shot, and a Band-Aid. And in 30 seconds, it's complete.
And the information in the database can be updated at any time. Finally, the day of the chipping arrives. Each member of the Jacobs family prepares for the fast injection. And in just a few moments, it's over. The permanent Vera chip is in place. With their medical history always an arm's length away, Derek Jacobs and his family take their place in history as the first microchipped family.
While this technology is new to humans, man's best friend is already one step ahead. Similar microchip devices have been implanted in over 6 million of our beloved pets.
A horrifying skydiving accident instantly sheared off Dana Bowman's legs.
My whole life flashed in front of me. You're going to be disabled for the rest of your life.
Now, only Ripley's is there as this iron-willed athlete attempts to rebuild himself and jump again. Plus, the elderly gentleman who refuses to let anything come between him and his wife, even death. Now he sleeps next to her corpse in a macabre homemade chamber. Sound hard to believe?
Believe it.
The world-exclusive story is just moments away.
Grazing cows will eat everything from grass and dirt to scrap metal and baling wire. These indigestible items can cause what farmers call hardware disease. And that's why most dairy farmers have plenty of these. This is a cow magnet. Once this pill is in the stomach, it attracts any piece of metal that's ingested and keeps the scrap from moving through the cow's system and doing serious damage. It's quite common for a magnet to be totally covered in debris when it's removed after the cow dies. The tricky part is getting the cow to swallow this oversized pill.
Ripley's world of unbelievable animals.
This Scotsman has a rather unusual job. While others dive to observe undersea life, Believe it or not, he puts on his scuba gear to brush these fish's teeth. Wojtek Moshevitz has been a diver at the McDuff Aquarium for 25 years. One day, he noticed that the beefy wolffish had sprouted razor-sharp teeth. It gave him a strange idea. He wanted to help keep the fish's teeth clean. But would they let him get close enough to brush their fangs without snapping at him and slicing his skin? Wacky Wojtek gradually began building their trust through hand feedings. Eventually, he was able to approach the wolffish holding his toothbrush. Soon, he was taking a few gentle strokes. And unbelievably, the fish actually seemed to enjoy it. And now, so do the local kids who regularly gather to watch him. In fact, Wojtek uses a child soft bristled toothbrush on the fish, whose teeth grow 50% larger than humans. And despite Wojtek's diligent daily underwater dental work, amazingly, the man they call the fish dentist has never once been bitten while brushing. Believe it.
Skydiving was Dana Bowman's life. So the day that he was inducted into the Golden Knights skydiving team, his dream had come true. But somewhere around his 300th jump, that dream turned into a horrifying nightmare. These are the amazing Golden Knights, the U.S. Army's most elite team of paratroopers. For Dana Bowman, it was his life's dream to be a part of these precision skydivers. But what Dana didn't know was that a horrible accident during a public air show was about to change his life forever. One minute, Dana was soaring gracefully through the air. The next thing he knew, he was waking up in the hospital.
Right at the beginning, waking up in the hospital was probably the most frightening for myself because I just thought it was a bad dream when my teammates, told me right there that I lost both my legs. My whole life flashed in front of me.
And the doctors had even more bad news for Dana.
It was like, you're not going to be able to run, you're not going to be able to do this and that. You're going to be disabled for the rest of your life.
Everything Dana loved was gone. Though he was alive, inside Dana felt his spirit dying. Still, this brave survivor was determined to prove his doctors wrong. And for the next several months, Dana underwent grueling physical therapy. As Dana's dreams of returning to his active life drove him on, he realized he would need more specialized prosthetic legs. Since none existed, he began designing his very own. But would Dana ever really be able to return to doing the things he loved?
I had to help and work with machinists, and that's what I did.
Dana and a talented team of engineers experimented with new space-age materials. Soon, a combination of carbon fiber, titanium, polyurethane, and plastics yielded a new kind of artificial leg. These prosthetics came equipped with hydraulic knees, designed to work with surviving muscles, replacing clumsy parts that often restricted movement. Now it was time to see if these cutting-edge limbs would let Dana do the things that he loved. Incredibly, these specially designed attachments now allowed Dana to perform all of the activities that he used to, from water skiing prosthetics to a special snow skiing pair with the boots actually bolted onto the legs for added stability. His scuba diving set have a built-in joint so they can pivot back and forth. And the biking legs are a few inches shorter to fit perfectly into the pedals.
My biking feet were also challenging because you had to lock your feet into those toe clips.
Now, unbelievably, even though it almost cost him his life, Dana decided to see if he can still skydive. Though he admits it being a little bit nervous, Dana is ready to put himself to the ultimate test. Prepared to risk it all again, Dana takes to the sky. Reaching altitude, he goes for it. Without hesitation, he executes a perfect jump, recapturing the thrill he thought that he'd lost forever. Dana is truly born again.
I went and I participated in a jump with members of the Golden Knights for a wedding jump. And I leapt out, and I showed them.
These days, Dana spends his time helping other amputees work through their problems.
You'll think about those. Don't practice.
And letting them know that despite physical challenges, the sky is still the limit.
One of my next goals would probably be maybe fly a jet. You know, live life to its fullest, grab every opportunity that's out there, you know, be happy at what you do. It's an everyday affair for me.
All right.
Next, Motorhead Gunnar Peterson has conquered every obstacle on land with his indestructible muscle machine. Now he'll risk drowning when he tries to drive his four-wheeled wonder car across water. Find out if he sinks or swims when he goes for tonight's Ripley's Record. And get ready to experience the ultimate in casual dining, where lingerie is the required attire. Ripley's makes reservations at this one-of-a-kind restaurant next.
Let's go straight to Iceland, because that's where a man claimed that he could drive his Jeep on water. Not frozen water, but regular water. Take a look.
Gunnar Peterson is a master mechanic who has altered his 60-year-old military Jeep to run like a monster truck. Plowing through trenches of mud, it can even climb sheer cliffs. But today, Gunnar will put his life and his automotive craftsmanship to the ultimate test, trying something that's never been done before. Believe it or not, Gunnar will attempt to drive his 3,000-pound Jeep as far as he can on top of this body of water. Gunnar was born and raised in Iceland, where the land is extremely volatile. With terrain carved by giant glaciers and explosive volcanoes, it can be difficult to get around. And for as long as he remembers, Gunnar's been modifying his vehicles to better suit the rough roads.
Þetta var eiginlega þegar ég eignast fyrsta reiðhjólið, þá sætti ég mig ekkert við hjólið eins og það var. Þannig gekk þetta koll af kolli. Svo var mótorhjólið, bíllinn, jeppinn.
Gunnar's truck was built in 1942 as a military Jeep. And after 10 years of extensive modifications, steep hills and deep ditches are no match for Gunnar's ride. Now, when he hops behind the wheel, Gunnar tackles the most outrageous turf he can find, easily conquering obstacles that would be impossible for other vehicles. But his next challenge will seemingly defy the laws of physics when he attempts to literally drive on water further than has ever been tried before. A feat made even more dangerous because no one knows if it's possible for Gunnar to pick up enough momentum to travel more than just a few feet before his Jeep sinks to the bottom of the harbor. Gunnar spends weeks refining his vehicle, juicing it up with over 600 horsepower. With less than 24 hours until his attempt, Gunnar fires up his Jeep for a test run over a riverbed only 2 feet deep. Water shallow enough, should something go wrong, he'll be safe and the vehicle won't sink. The engine purrs like a finely tuned machine, but he pushes the motor a little too hard, chipping a piston and losing a cylinder. Scrambling to repair the Jeep, Gunnar can't do it in time. He'll have to be ready to roll with only 7 cylinders instead of the usual 8. One last inspection of the Jeep on the morning of the big event, and Gunnar heads to the harbor. The water depth here measures in at 27 feet. Finally, this daring driver examines the freshly plowed ramp that will lead him into the water. If he hits the water going too fast, he'll lose control and could flip the Jeep over, come in too slow, and the Jeep will sink. A rescue boat and diver are standing by should Gunnar lose control and be thrown into the freezing cold water, which could cause hypothermia in just minutes. Despite the dangers, Gunnar's ready. He gets a feel for the ramp. And he's off. The crowd roars as he hits the water. Going strong, Gunnar is seemingly defying gravity. But 200 feet in, Gunnar's forced to bail out as the Jeep sinks. Taking another look in this Ripley's replay, Gunnar hits the water at a solid speed and guns it. With momentum helping to carry him, he rolls over the water, driving the length of more than 2 basketball courts before his Jeep eventually sinks.
Þetta var æðislegt. Ógleymanlegt og þetta hérna, ég hefði alls ekki viljað missa þessu. Ekki fyrir nokkurn veginn.
Gunnar Peterson drives a 1.5-ton souped-up Army Jeep 200 feet on top of water, splashing his way to a new Ripley's world record.
Next, the haunting love story so gripping, you won't be able to forget it. Only Ripley's cameras travel inside the homemade chamber where one man keeps his dead wife company.
I don't care what other people say. I know she's with me.
Plus, Ripley's Retro travels back in time for an act you have to hear to believe. And later, inside the diner, swapping out their booths for beds. It's all ahead, only on Ripley's. Enter Robert Ripley's archives.
Robert Ripley, leave it or not. Leave it or not.
The year is 1932. Cecil Dill demonstrates how a chilly stroll through the woods as a boy led to an amazing discovery. Trying to stay warm, he accidentally ends up making music instead.
I was coming home from school and my hands got very cold, and you see, and I had no mittens. And I began, of course, pressing them together to get them warm, and that wouldn't do. But pretty soon I began squeezing them, and I was surprised to think that I could make a few different sounds. Well, then I began playing every day, and pretty soon I could play Yankee Doodle clear through.
Although Cecil never goes pro with his talent, everyone agrees that his unique skill certainly deserves a hand.
Leave it or not.
This next story you will only see on Ripley's. It's the story of a husband's undying love for his wife. He loves her so much, he rarely leaves her side, even though she's been dead for years. In another world exclusive, here is a love story, Ripley style.
Sorrel Pretorius loves his wife Christina so deeply, he spent almost every moment of the past 24 years by her side. The only catch is, Christina died 13 years ago.
I had to have her with me. That's why I still got her.
Believe it or not, to make sure they're never parted, this dedicated husband built her a room right in his own backyard. In 1978, Sorrel and Christina were a newly married couple looking forward to a long and happy life together.
We were just like children, you know. You couldn't believe it. And we were very happy with each other.
Proclaiming their devotion, they even named their home the House of Love. But unfortunately, the happiness came to an end when 49-year-old Christina fell terribly ill.
She said to me, Opa, I've got a rash all over my stomach. and under my breast. And I asked a friend of mine in a chemist to refer me to a good doctor.
Tragically, just 4 days after her symptoms first appeared, a severely dehydrated Christina died of double pneumonia. Sorel was devastated.
You know, they say that time heals all wounds. That's not true.
In shock from the sudden, unforeseen death of his beloved bride, Sorel made an extraordinary decision that would soon have everyone talking.
I've been speaking to my son, Chris. So I said to him, I can't be without her. I want to have her embalmed.
Remarkably, Sorel wanted to preserve his wife's body and keep it with him. But would it be possible? And if so, would it be legal? Upon further research, Sorel soon learned that as long as his wife's body is embalmed by a qualified mortician or undertaker, keeping a dead body in a residence is not in violation of health regulations and is perfectly legal. So at a cost of roughly $3,000, Sorel had Christina's body preserved using the latest embalming techniques. Obsessed with making everything perfect for his preserved wife, Sorel even custom-built a $60,000 fully equipped subterranean room right behind his house. And while most outsiders are shocked by the arrangement, Sorel's neighbors don't seem to mind.
Knowing that Christina is lying in the tomb on the farm next door doesn't bother me, and I believe that the man can do whatever he wants to do on his property.
Now, unbelievably, this loving husband carries on as if nothing has changed. Taking tea with his deceased wife, he passes the time reading Christina the love letters he writes her every day. And in a demonstration of devotion that would leave most people horrified, Sorel even sleeps next to his dead wife.
Now, if I want to be with her, I go down to her. If I want to see her, I see her. If I want to sleep there, I sleep there. I know I've got her after all these years.
All the while, Sorel Pretorius continues living life, believing when it comes to true love and his marriage, not even death can tear him and his bride apart. Believe it. This couple's crawling into bed, but they're not sleepy. They're starved. And they're about to get a one-of-a-kind spread from one of the world's most risque restaurants. Ripley's makes the rounds at this truly dressed-down diner next. Amazing stories and unbelievable people. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
It's late, and these two are getting ready for bed. But they're not tired. And no, it's not what you may be thinking. Believe it or not, this couple is getting ready to eat dinner at one of Miami's hottest restaurants. BED, which stands for Beverage, Entertainment, Dining, opened its doors in December of 1999. Located in trendy South Beach, this unusual eatery serves as both a restaurant and nightclub, with dinner reservations taken daily for the two seatings.
Early seating is more the dining crowd. They come around and they relax, and then they go either home or they go to something else. The second seating is more the party crowd.
Servers at this restaurant prepare for the evening by making beds, fluffing and arranging pillows, and lighting candles. Diners are then invited to come in, kick off their shoes, and lay back. And with the pajamas optional dress code, it's no surprise that some patrons actually eat in their lingerie. The cuisine is French, and all meals are served on large oval rattan trays. Because there's no table, each menu item has been carefully selected for easy reclining dining. Once dinner's served, it's bon appetit. And this unique eating experience is popular with couples and families alike, with prices on the menu ranging from $30 to $50 a plate. Still, after a satisfying meal at BED, customers can't get too comfortable. Even with a full stomach, there's no sleeping allowed. Believe it.
Even though we now live in the 21st century, some cultures have held on to centuries-old traditions, some of them undeniably barbaric. Inside this small, ornately carved box are weapons of death. These trinkets are part of an ancient tradition from Southeast Asia. It's sometimes called rooster jewelry, but more commonly, this is known as a cockfighting spur. The sharpened piece of metal would be tied onto the rooster's legs with a strap, and the birds would be placed into a ring and left to fight to the death. In 1981, the government of Indonesia declared all forms of gambling illegal and immoral, including cockfighting. But even though it's illegal to gamble on them, the inhumane bird fights still go on under the guise of religious events. Unbelievable? Believe it.
Those with the guts.
All right, let's do this.
Win the glory. Fear Factor. Back-to-back episodes. Tonight starting at 7. Only on Schiller. Scary Good.